Most entrepreneurs I speak to think that all they need to close a high ticket client is something like a sales call or an hour-long webinar or a good VSL, and that is going to do all of the heavy lifting. And invariably, these are the people who come to me and keep saying things like, everybody I pitch to says I need to go away and think about it, or I'm not sure. There's way too much friction and pushback from these people, and they can never sell any of their high ticket offers. There's a couple of mistakes that they're making, and if this sounds familiar, stick with me in this video because I'm going to run through the big mistakes that stop people from selling their high ticket offers and what you can do to make sure that you can consistently sell your high ticket offers to more of your audience. So how to close more high ticket clients. Now, this is a method that I've been using from when I was a freelance copywriter through to when I was running an agency and now working in information product businesses. And I've also done it with SaaS businesses and also even B2C businesses. Most recently, we worked with Rachel here, and within 2 months, 2 clients paying $7,500 per month each. And by the 3rd month, she had another one paying 7.5 and one more, which was, I think, 1.5. So, 3 months to do over 20K a month. It's not bad. And it's just from implementing the concepts that I'm going to run through in this video. Basically, there are 3 mistakes that people make when they try and sell their high ticket offer. The first one is letting the sales mechanism do all the heavy lifting. And what I mean by this is you have the journey, and this is where your customers find you. This is where they feel comfortable buying from you. And by buying, I mean spending at least 2K a month, like a high ticket fee. What most people think is they think that this is all done on the high ticket sales mechanism. And that could be a webinar, a VSL, a sales call is most common. And so they just want to get as many people as possible onto that sales call. And they want whoever's doing the sales call, whether it's them or they have a closer, to move somebody from basically unaware of who this person is all the way through to where they're like, wow, this is exactly what I need in my life to get the result that I need. And this is just wrong. The sales call is this last part here. And in fact, to really make sure that you are going to get the highest take rates on your high ticket offer, you have to make sure that all of this bit here is pre-selling them on whatever it is that you sell. And that leads me into the second problem, which is there's been no pre-selling. And I don't mean this as in teasing them like, oh, this is coming up soon, or get ready for this. Nothing like that. But essentially, the first mistake is, as I said, thinking that the high ticket sales mechanism is going to do all of the heavy lifting and take somebody from unaware through to fully aware, and that you are the perfect solution for them. That's not it. You need to make sure that is just the final 10%. And then all of this stuff is pre-selling. It's solving this second problem of pre-selling the person. So you basically need to say, you've got the problem, we have the solution, here's what the solution that you need for this problem. And there's lots of nuance to this, like with the problem, the best way to do this is often, problem isn't what you think, it's a hidden problem. Help them see that is actually what they're really struggling with, that you have the solution, introduce them to the solution. And then you want to do, I've done videos on this as well, where you do it going through the adoption lenses to help them remove the hesitations that they have to implement the solution, because you're saying, this is the solution, and then you're interesting them to your offer, which is the solution. And then you've got the adoption lenses where you're talking about validating the price, you're doing all of this sort of stuff. By the time that this call, this webinar, this VSL actually happens, the person should have one question left. How do I pay? They should already be sold on the idea that you are the person for them. And if you've not done all of this, and let's say that I'm just going to use a sales call as the example, and you've just got this sales call. On that sales call, you're going to have to cover so much ground. You're going to have to introduce who you are, try to explain to them what the hidden problem is, try to explain what your solution is, explain how the solution works, how it's packaged as the offer, go through the pricing and the mechanism and all of this stuff, adoption lenses. And then you've got, 5 minutes to actually try and close the sale. Most of it's just talking about what the thing actually is. That person isn't going to end up buying because it's way too much information in one go. You have to gradually introduce them to, this is the problem, this is the solution. Here's how we solve it. Here's proof that we can solve it. Here's what we charge for this and why it's a good fee. And then by the time they hit that thing, they're pre-sold on this. You see this like all the time. Most of the time, people have already made the decision whether or not they're going to buy. They just need that last little justification. Okay, so you want to get them to that point. And this is true in anything. Whenever you're selling anything, most people already know whether or not they're going to buy. I've had people pay for my products And they say to me, I had one guy join the Growth Models Plus community where we've templatized this whole system. And he joined, and I remember seeing the Stripe notification come through on my phone. And then I had a direct message within the community, and he said, how do I cancel my membership? He came in, and what we used to do was a week's trial for $1. He came in on the $1 trial. He knew when he paid, he wanted a refund. Most people have already made up their mind before they take the action. So what you have to do is you have to put all of this stuff up here first to get them to make up their mind to work with you. And then it's just that last step. That's what the high ticket sales mechanism does. It's just the last step. You need to pre-sell them on everything. And that guy who came into my community had already decided he wasn't going to stay. He was going to rip off all of the content, take it elsewhere, and do all of that and get the refund. Because within minutes of him joining, he was like, how do I cancel and can I get a refund? He didn't get a refund because I could see what he was doing from all of the access logs. He did cancel though, so I guess he got away ahead there. So those are the two biggest problems that I see, right? That people think that the actual high ticket sales mechanism is the thing that's going to do the whole selling journey when it's not. It should just be the final step. You've got to pre-sell everything so that people turn up to whatever that sales mechanism is and they're almost convinced that this is right for them. They just need that last little touch. The third thing is all about qualification. It seems to be really popular at the minute to do, if you've seen my stuff, we build everything on ACA models. This is basically attract, capture, convert, engage, refer. We do one asset at each stage. The thing that seems really popular at the minute is on the front half of this is to basically have something like cold DMs to hundreds or thousands of people every day through to, hey, why don't you book a call? And that's how you capture their email address. And then you do a sales call. And these people are like, oh, great. So they're sending this out to everybody out there. Everybody can book a call. Everybody can jump on this sales call. And when you speak to the people who are doing this, what they'll tell you is they'll have something like 50% don't even show. You've got 10 calls booked in for today, back-to-back calls. 5 of them turn up. 5 just forget. They're like, meh, because they were never invested in the first place. Of those 50, 30% are unqualified. Out of the 20% that are left, you've got, say, 10% who are not right now, they don't have the available funds. And then you've got 10% of actual serious people that you can actually close. Doesn't mean that they will, it means that you can, okay? So you're paying for every 100 people, only 10 might turn into customers. And that's actually quite generous from me saying that 10 out of every 100, it's probably less than that. And a big problem with this is that there is zero qualification done here. These guys are going quantity over quality. And if you want to sell things easily, you have to make sure that you're selling it to the right person. Let's look at a potential example of this in action, right? Of actually qualifying the right people. Let's say that you do health and fitness stuff and you are there and you are a personal trainer and you specialize in helping people pack on 20 pounds of lean muscle mass. That's quite a lot, but we'll say 10 pounds muscle is what you help them do. You do this. Now, who is more likely to get a result from this service and also be interested in buying it? Is it the couch potato who's never worked out, doesn't really care, and all of this? They're just like, yeah, I just want to sit down, watch movies, eat some chips. Easy peasy, right? They're going to be really difficult to, one, convince that this is the right offer for them. And even if you do get them, you're going to have really low success rates, which is going to make it more difficult to get more clients in the future because you won't have testimonials and stuff. Instead, what you want to be looking at is who's already doing 90% of the work. They're just missing that last 10% that you can offer. And so this might be the person who goes to the gym 4 days a week. They eat right. They're already at a whatever percentage body fat. They're already doing this kind of all the right stuff. They're just missing something that's helping them hit that 10 pounds extra muscle mass that they want. This person is not only perfect for the service because they're already doing most of what you offer, they're also perfect for getting a result because they're 90% of the way there. It's going to be so much easier for you to close them as a customer. And it's also going to be easier for you to get them a result. Most people don't do this. They try and work with the couch potato and then they wonder why they're always burnt out and they can never seem to get anybody any result. And it never leads on to other work because they've got no success stories. It's because they're not qualifying people. Now, there's 2 ways that I like to qualify people. The first is with a $1 product, because what this does is it shows me immediately. I run the $1 product challenge, but I use very low ticket offers. Immediately that separates your audience into two groups. You've got the freebie seekers who are not serious and the serious buyers. Buyers generally tend to be within not the couch potato group, but this group. A couch potato is not even going to spend $1 on how to do things at a gym. The person who's in there 4 days a week will spend a little bit of money. So you can already cut out 90% of the bad fits just by charging a small fee for your front end. Okay. Then what we do is you want to further reduce this by talking about these things. And what these things will do when you're talking about the problem and solution is you change the messaging and the language to be very specific to a target audience. And if you go onto something like YouTube, you'll see this all the time. You'll have creators who have massive audiences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million. And it's like how to make $100 a day using ChatGPT or something like this, right? They are going after newbie business people. They're probably not particularly experienced in business. They're not running a business. They're just looking to try and earn some kind of money somewhere. It's a desperation thing, really, more than anything. They're not going to make good one-to-one clients to scale their business. But if you get a lot of those people in, you can make reasonable money if you're selling them something low ticket. But they're going after newbie people. Another person might say how to scale from 6 to 7 figures. Okay. So essentially these two things are at their core the very same offer in the sense of I'll help you make more money, right? But this, just by the language of saying make $100 a day, attracts the brand new people who don't really know what they're doing, don't know how to make money online, and you're going to run them through the absolute basic beginner steps. Okay, this is going to attract people who are already making $100,000 minimum up to $900,000 and want to get to that $1 million mark. So just by changing the messaging and the positioning of you can attract and deter the right and the wrong audience. Somebody who says how to go from 6 to 7 figures is somebody who wants to make $100 a day is going to be like, that's not for me. Somebody who is at 6 figures is going to look at the newbie stuff about how to make $100 a day and go, $100 a day ain't going to do nothing for my business. I need something more. Throughout this whole pre-sales sequence, you want to be using language and positioning and evidence that you work with a particular kind of audience. And these three things together, between pre-selling, the qualification of the $1 product, and talking about positioning yourself as that expert, putting that in to a pre-selling mechanism so that then that's just the last step, will bring you serious people who are willing to pay. You'll deter the people who are not serious and not the right fit for your offer. And then by the end of it, this stage here, they'll just be ready to buy. They'll just be like, look, everything I've seen of yours is cool. How do we actually get this going? How do we work together? How can you help me? Okay. So that's what you want to be doing if you want to sell your high ticket offers. It's not about selling more, and it's not about attracting more people in. It's actually about turning the wrong people away. You will find by really positioning yourself and pre-selling the offer to the right people, you might get fewer people coming all the way through, but those who do will be more serious, more relevant, and you'll not only be able to sell them easier, but you'll get much better results when they buy, which will help you get proof to bring in even more people. So it's like a nice little cycle there. If we have to summarize this, we can really drill this down into 3 steps. 1, disqualify bad fits. You don't want people who are never going to buy from you. So something like a $1 product, can get the $1 product challenge below this video. Something like a $1 product is going to help you immediately disqualify the people who will never pay. Then you've got a pre-sell with authority. And that is going to be using the proof and everything that you've got and using the right language to say, I am the right person for this specific segment. I'm going to help you make your first $100 a day, or I'm going to help you scale from 6 to 7 figures or 7 to 8 figures. The language should position you as the right person for the right audience. And then we have the sales mechanism as last step. Not the whole thing, it's just the last step. And when it's the last step, basically, they should already know that working with you is the logical next step to get the result that they want. This is just a formality to make sure that T's are crossed, I's are dotted, ready to get moving. So that's what you need to do to sell more of your high ticket offers. If you're tired of getting people on your webinars, your VSLs, your sales calls that are just not good fits and they don't actually buy, then you need to implement this kind of system. And if you want help setting this up, we've got a full templated version that you can adapt to your audience and your offer to install in your business inside Growth Models Plus within the ACA Model Builders course. Not only will you get access to that course, but you also get access to a community of peers who can help you refine this and get the best results. And I'm in there every single day to offer assistance. So if you want help pre-qualifying leads, building demand, and effectively pre-selling your offer so that more people actually want to work with you and pay you that high ticket fee, join us in GM Plus. Just remember, the best closers don't actually sell on the call. They create a system where the buyers sell themselves before the call, the webinar, the VSL even happens. If you want to set that up, join us in GM Plus. If not, watch this video, give it a try yourself, drop any comments if you've got questions. And if you've enjoyed this, please and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos coming up.